Since Outlander first aired in 2014, the pairing of Caitríona Balfe and Sam Heughan has been nothing short of lightning in a bottle. As Claire and Jamie, they built one of TV's most romantic and enduring relationships. Over 8 seasons, they've carried the emotional weight of a love story that spanned centuries, wars, heartbreaks, and reunions. It's no wonder fans couldn't, or wouldn't, separate the actors from their characters. Every behind-the-scenes clip, every shared laugh at a press junket, every protective gesture from Sam toward Caitríona became evidence that they were more than just co-stars. For a long time, the whispers were harmless, even flattering. Caitríona would smile and brush them off. Sam would joke about how often they were married on social media, and the fandom would swoon. But what started as playful speculation began to harden into something more invasive. The early gossip was born out of chemistry and wishful thinking. Fans pointed to photos from premieres, the way Sam's hand rested on Caitríona's back a beat longer than necessary, or how she leaned into him during group interviews. Tabloid headlines like, "Sam and Kate, Outlander's real-life love," became common. Neither confirmed nor denied, and so the rumors lived on, feeding off absence of proof. But by the time Caitríona quietly married in 2019, the fandom had already woven its own mythology, one in which she was hiding her true relationship with Sam. Over the years, paparazzi snaps of Sam with other women, whether co-stars, models, or just friends, would trigger tidal waves of speculation. The pattern was always the same. A photo appears online. The fandom debates whether it's real or just a distraction. Caitríona is tagged relentlessly in comments, DMs, and tweets demanding her opinion. She never played into it. She never even acknowledged it. But that didn't stop the relentless linking of her name to Sam's private life, the latest rumor. Almost instantly, Fana. And right alongside Sam's. Suddenly, the headlines weren't J. It wasn't just a rumor about Sam anymore. It was a story abo, one she nay. I. Every new post, even those unrelated to Outland, was flooded with. Quote. How do you feel? Don't L. We a. Some. And for. People who've work. But over the. She skipped a place. At a press J. She stopped posting a. The most T. Sometime. It was vague enough to pass as poetic, but many read it as a warning. Caitríona has always played the long game when it comes to public image. In the Outlander fandom, she's known as the diplomat, gracious with fans, protective of her co-stars, and unwilling to fuel gossip. She's also fiercely private. Despite her public-facing career, she's kept her marriage almost entirely out of the spotlight. Friends describe her as someone who values boundaries, especially between her work persona and her personal life. That's why this latest cycle stung. It blurred those boundaries in a way she couldn't control. It happened after a long day of interviews for a charity project. Between segments, she scrolled through her phone. Her notifications flooded with tags linking her to yet another headline. Sam Heughan reunites with ex. How Caitríona Balfe really feels. The article contained no quotes from her. No statements. Just recycled photos and fan speculation framed as insider information. According to someone on her team, she put her phone down, exhaled, and said quietly, "Enough." She knew that addressing the gossip directly would make headlines, but this time, that was the point. She didn't want to sidestep, deflect, or quietly wait for the chatter to fade. She wanted to call it out, stop the lies. Beneath it, in smaller print, I am not, and have never been, in a romantic relationship with Sam Heughan. Please stop inventing stories about my life. Respect my marriage, respect our friendship, and stop dragging my name into your fantasies. No emojis, no hashtags, no tags to Sam or anyone else. It was the most direct she had ever been on the subject. Why it landed like an earthquake. For years, Caitríona's default approach to gossip had been graceful avoidance. This, however, was different, a firm line in the sand. Her statement addressed three things head-on. The core rumor. Outright denying any romantic relationship with Sam, past or present. The damage. Making it clear that these narratives were disrespecting both her marriage and her friendship with Sam. The boundary. Telling people explicitly to stop projecting fantasies onto her personal life. It wasn't a defensive statement. It was a correction, delivered without apology. The immediate reaction. Within minutes, her post was everywhere. Entertainment outlets rushed to screenshot it before the algorithms could even catch up. Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram lit up. Camp 1 applauding the honesty. Fans who had always respected her privacy praised her for speaking up. About time she shut this nonsense down. She has every right to be blunt. Protect Caitríona at all costs. Camp 2 reading between the lines. The conspiracy-leaning side of the fandom refused to take it at face value. If there's nothing there, why get so mad? This feels like PR damage control. She's protesting too much. The silence from Sam. As Caitríona's words dominated headlines, Sam Heughan remained publicly quiet. He didn't repost her statement. He didn't comment. He didn't address the Monica Clark rumors either. Instead, his Instagram story that evening featured a photo of a whiskey glass and the caption, "Cheers to a long day." For some, it was nothing more than a casual post. For others, it was maddeningly evasive. A UK tabloid headline the next morning read, "Sam Heughan raises a glass as Caitríona Balfe denies romance rumors." The media spin. Within 24 hours, Caitríona's statement had been repackaged into a dozen versions. Caitríona Balfe shuts down Sam Heughan dating rumors. Outlander star slams fans for spreading lies. Balfe defends marriage, friendship amid Heughan speculation. Some outlets focused on her marriage. Others focused on the friendship angle. A few deliberately framed it as a feud between Caitríona and Sam, despite her words being careful not to criticize him directly. Behind the scenes, two different reads. Entertainment reporters who had interviewed Caitríona over the years split into two interpretations. The strategic read. She was tired of dodging the question and decided to kill the rumor in the cleanest, clearest way possible. The emotional read. This wasn't just about the rumor. It was about years of pressure finally boiling over. Both could be true. Whispers from production. Off the record, a crew member from Outlander told an industry blog. It's not awkward between them. If anything, Sam's been extra careful with her since this blew up. But I think she needed to say it for her own peace of mind, not because of anything between them. Another crew member offered a slightly different take. They're fine, but it's changed things. The fun, flirty banter they used to share publicly? I don't know if we'll see that again. The fan divide. Even a week later, the fandom hadn't cooled down. Those in support. She's a married woman and doesn't deserve this constant intrusion. People forget these are real people, not characters in our heads. The skeptics. If it's really nothing, why such a strong reaction? This reads like someone trying to bury the truth. The debates spiraled so far that some fan pages temporarily disabled comments to avoid flame wars. Caitríona's follow-up. A few days later, Caitríona posted again, this time a candid, smiling photo of herself on set, captioned, "Back to work, back to what matters." It was a subtle signal. She'd said her piece, and she was moving on. She didn't delete her "Stop the Lies" post. She didn't walk it back. She simply refused to feed the fire any further. Why this clapback matters. In an industry where women are often expected to smile through invasive questions, Caitríona's blunt, uncompromising message was rare. It told fans, the media, and even her co-stars that she was no longer willing to play into narratives she hadn't written. It also set a precedent. The next time her name is linked to Sam in a romantic headline, there will be a very public counterpoint to reference. Closing beat. The final word. In her statement, Caitríona had written one line that didn't make as many headlines as it should have. The truth doesn't need to shout, but sometimes, it needs to be said loud enough to drown out the lies. It was the essence of the moment. This wasn't about proving anything to the people who wouldn't believe her anyway. It was about reclaiming her name from a story that had gone on far too long. Whether fans loved it, hated it, or refused to believe it, one thing was certain: Caitríona Balfe had spoken. And she had made it very, very clear. The gossip ends here.